The idea of giving a hurricane a human name might make sense from a meteorological perspective. But when it's your home, your land, and your life in its path, the convention becomes a little more personal. In 2022, Hurricane Fiona ripped through the eastern seaboard and battered PEI. And right in its crosshairs, at one of the highest points on the island, was the newly created Kings Pine Disc Golf Park.
We really were meticulous in how we created our intention and created our vision to this course. And all that sounds lovely and fine, but the reality is the championship level course was only open 5 weeks. We had the biggest hurricane in our history. It destroyed 85% of the tree cover here, and it was a dark time. For 12 or 14 months, we didn't know if we'd be physically and mentally able to rebuild.
The scope was incomprehensible. The tireless work that had gone into it erased overnight.
Fiona came and Fiona blew it all down. It was the most chaotic thing I ever saw. Like when we went out here, you couldn't comprehend. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, and it just went on forever. So we had gone through a couple of hurricanes before, and there were some tough losses in the disc golf world. There was a tough during Hurricane Dorian. That was one came through, but this one was it was next level. And we weren't the only ones that got hit, but we got hit really bad. You couldn't walk down a fairway there's hundreds of trees down.
If a disc golf course is only as good as the forest it's built into, what happens if that forest disappears? We are back for round 2 of the 2024 Discmania Open from Prince Edward Island, Canada. My name is Matt Lisac. In the booth with me once again, Jeremy Gauthier. Jeremy, don't you wish you were in PEI right about now?
I do, actually. I really do. I've missed a bunch of tournaments out in PER, and it's kind of nice to see a lot of different courses, other than the staples out there, I guess. So, yeah. I'd love to come out at one point.
We are at Kings Pine Disc Golf Park, which we're kind of trying to roll out some stories about as the tournament goes on here, but just an incredible feat of construction, of patience, of hard work. Making a disc golf course is hard enough. Making a disc golf course twice is a level of commitment that I barely understand. So we are really lucky to be out here. And on our lead card here for round 2, Sam Streeter from Charlton, Massachusetts. Not actually from the streets of Samuel, he points out in his fun fact there. Huge forehand on the guy. I'm not sure 93 really does it enough justice. We saw him on a couple of holes, checked in with him. Ezra Lockington, big power, big backhand, capable forehand, good putter. One of the top 3 Ezras in disc golf. Big Jesus guy. Dylan Goudey. We saw him all first round. Extremely impressive stuff. We asked him for a fun fact. Kid's so humble, he didn't understand that we meant about him.
Oh, I love it.
So you just picked whatever fun fact came to mind.
That's a pretty fun fact.
It is a fun fact.
Yeah.
And filling out our card here, Charlottetown. So he's going to play the local area.
I love that too.
Yes, he gets asked about that a lot. Not related to Patty Murphy.
Sure.
Thankfully, although his wake was a good time, I understand.
Yeah.
We saw some holes from Vaughn. Nice putter. Made some big clutch putts when the camera came over to him. And he is a very crafty guy, big scramble guy. He's one of the reasons why we have a scramble rating. He didn't give himself a high enough rating on the scramble. But he is one of those guys that never gives up on a hole. You're not going to see him slamming discs in his bag too much. Wherever he's at, he just thinks he can make a better shot from there, and he does it. So
cool.
Fun guy, backhand, forehand. Everybody's pretty capable on this card.
Yeah.
Hole one, big winding par 5, 641. Jeremy, how would you want to start on this hole?
Just, I don't know. Looking at the flyover for the second time now, just you have a wall of trees and then it goes into a tight tunnel and then it goes around right in front of the green and then you've got another wall of trees. So it's just probably just aiming just through that first gap.
From Charlton, Massachusetts, Samuel Streeter.
Yeah, getting one through the first gap it's a good way to start your round.
Yeah.
Hit an early tree. Okay, Captain Obvious, not a great way to start your round.
Yeah.
Sam's going to go through that tight gap on the left again, and he's going to be rewarded again.
Yep, that looks nice. Good start to the
Next
round.
Also our co-leader here
Boy,
today
that's a lot of nerves throwing off the first tee.
Lockington.
Yeah, you got TD, Luke announcing everybody's names. You got a crowd of people. Everybody else is at the campfire, maybe one minute away. Wow.
That's gone.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Third on the tee pad.
Oh,
Also
Ezra Lockington knows how to throw a disc.
Yeah.
Dylan Goudey.
I'm really excited for this card. We got 4 really fun players here. Dylan Goudey didn't really show any nerves the entire time. I don't think he's been on camera much at all, and he handled it like an absolute pro.
Just like this opening shot. Oh, man. Just had to open my mouth. But it's still, he's up the fairway.
Can't believe you jinxed him in the past, Jeremy.
I did. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, our card's local here, Charlottetown. We're a little bit away from Charlottetown, but it's the closest major center here. We're just outside of Elliotvale in Prince Edward Island.
Oh, no.
And not the best start for Vaughn.
No.
Big breath. But, like I said, he is a capable scrambler. He's just going to have a look, make sure he gets some good footing.
Yeah.
And
removing what he can.
Which is not much. He's basically married to some ferns at this point.
Ooh.
And that's pretty good from where he was.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a line on his third shot there.
Going over the right side.
This is
gutsy.
A bananas second shot, Jeremy.
That was amazing.
That is absolutely insane from Dylan.
That was crunked.
You're telling me.
Is that
Sure.
I was just going to redo a...
I'm in my 40s, Jeremy.
Make a note in the comment.
So Vaughn
it's not a thing.
Tries to take out catch cam Sean on his third shot here. He's going to probably get up and down for a par after a nightmare of a drive.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nasty little back roll, but at least in the middle of the fairway.
So he and Dylan are taking turns being unlucky on their shots here. Let's see what Sam's got. Perfect positioning.
Yeah, that's great.
Mega drive. Forehand around the corner.
And saving himself a somewhat good up shot.
Not bad.
Mega Drive. Was that one of the evil Transformer guy? No, that's Megatron.
No, it's one of the best Sega systems was the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if Dylan can capitalize on that amazing shot.
Where would you go, left or right gap on this, Matt?
I would do whatever Dylan's doing because he's pretty good at disc golf.
A little wider.
Yeah, that's what I would do for sure.
Nice shot.
I like being under the basket. I would take that approach probably.
Boy, that right gap looked very, very tempting, but that could cause all sorts of troubles. I also don't have that hard of a backhand or a forehand, so.
Wow.
That was a great shot.
Wow. So a drive that could have potentially derailed him is going to turn into a par for Vaughn.
And it's just chipping up for a birdie?
Believe so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Easy as you like.
Nice start to the day.
Had some rough holes, had some inconsistent holes. Woke up the next day. Every day is a new day. Sam Streeter is at 6 down. Dylan is going to join him at 6 down. We got 2 new leaders trying to break away from the pack.
Before the end of the first round, it looked like you had just a couple of people at the top and then just a bunch of -1s, and that's what I thought it was going to be like. But the field caught up in a great way.
It's pretty compressed still.
Yeah, wasn't thrilled.
I think he wanted to get all the way to the basket on that second shot, and after that drive, can't really blame him.
Yeah, no kidding. Hole 2, 334 feet.
Beautiful,
tight tunnel shot.
picturesque hole. I think this was one of the holes that was left somewhat untouched. We do still see some chunks of dirt where trees had been, but this feels like as designed, and it is a beautiful hole.
Try to pipe it up the middle, I dare you.
Yeah. Take your straightest mid up the middle. Get a little bit lucky around the outside, maybe. I think a lot of these guys might play the hyzer around the outside.
On the
Might see
outside?
some around the outside. We might see some flex forehands too. Looks like Sam's lining up the flex forehand here
Yeah.
up the middle. Saw it in round 1. Shapes really nicely for the hole.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This one is too high, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's going over a bit, but still a putt. And circle 1, looks like.
Right at the edge, right next to the whisker. And Dylan, I believe, parked this one yesterday. We'll see what he's got today. Or was that James?
Don't remember.
Well, that should work. Should work just fine for Dylan.
Okay.
Wind is down. We are a more protected part of the course, but just another perfect day out there. Still shorts and t-shirt weather for most of these guys.
Well, that's got to be sneaky. It's not. I know it sounded like my voice was delayed on that one, but it actually wasn't. I was just a little bit slower to respond to that. Oh, these trees. This kind of probably gives you a better idea of what the rest of the field is looking like.
Yeah, the getting to watch the best players in the country really spoils you and kind of skews your idea
What
of
an
how disc
upshot.
golf goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think, yeah, that's fine. This is nice and consistent. And then,
Sign up for MPO.
yeah, then the tree hits. Is that? Oh,
Wow,
Okay.
great run.
Another birdie run. Oh, and that went far. He's got a bit of a comebacker. What we got coming up from here? Nope. Okay. Oh, no.
Not his best effort on the putting green,
No.
and fairly serious comebacker here for Sam.
The second comebacker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rough start.
Probably getting some flashbacks from the last round.
Yeah, we saw some real easy, smooth putting from Sam, and we saw some mostly. Well, I think he was missing both sides. Just pulling putts. A lot of time we saw one or two low ones. Just getting the consistency down. Great recovery shot here.
This is insane. Huh. Why did that not skip up in the basket? Okay, hole 3, par 4, 546. You guessed it. You're throwing through a bunch of trees. Pick your poisons. Left side, right side, depending on where you go. And then it's through some more trees. And then it's going to bend to the left, and you guessed it. More trees. Yeah. No, this is really cool. Very hard placement shot off the tee. I'm guessing this is probably where you want to be off your drive.
That'd be a great drive, would be to get there. You can see the course damage on these massive, massive trees.
Yeah.
Just because the tunnel that you're looking at is pretty difficult, we're going to see some guys go over the top on their drive just to not hit an early tree, but it does come with its own set of risks, obviously, getting the disc up in the air.
Yeah. Anybody contemplating rollers while you were out there?
Not enough people contemplating rollers, Jeremy. Never enough people. You at home, I would like you to contemplate
Please
rollers.
contemplate rollers.
And did that stay over to the right long enough? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Catches a tree, stays on the fairway. There is OB on this one out in that field. So that was getting a little bit risky when it didn't turn over to the right hard enough for Dylan, but he gets saved by the last row of trees. Ezra's got more than enough power to make this shot work.
Tickled the tops of the tree, it looked like.
Yeah, that's not great. And that is going to fly out to the field. We're going to have to see where that one ended up because there is OB out there.
Okay. I mean, if you got the power to do it, do it.
There's no way he wasn't doing that if he hadn't made it work in practice.
Yeah.
Such a risky shot. And this is kind of the in-betweener that you don't want from Vaughn here. You either want to go over top of the trees or you want to keep it low outside of the leaf range.
Yeah.
And he just floats it up in the air a little bit too much. Obviously not what he was trying to do.
No. Sam also looking skyward,
Looking
it looks
up
like.
in the sky.
Oh, yeah. Big.
And that's got to get lucky, and it does get lucky. And he's going to be in the short stuff.
Okay.
Not remotely close to what he was trying to do, but that was potentially going out into that field as well.
Yeah.
We've seen him throw that disc. It's a very stable disc, and it will come back. Hey, somebody considered a roller, Jeremy.
A roller. They listen. See?
We can affect it.
I
events
can't
in the
yet.
past. I was wrong.
Huh.
That's why you're the doctor.
Go figure. Well, I'm going to have to write a paper on that now. What?
I'll peer review it. But it didn't look like a window.
Yeah, that is a tricky little window to go through, but probably a lot of reward.
Yeah. And as suspected, Ezra is out in the farmer's field, out of bounds. They determine where he would have gone out. And
oh, boy.
luckily, the farmer has taken in his crops by then because that driver was getting combined.
Yep.
A few days ago. All right. Towering forehand for Ezra. Where is this one going to end up?
Oh, boy.
Pretty good. Pretty good for OB way back.
No kidding.
Going to have a circle 2 look for par. And
Vaughn is...
he got out enough that he has some sort of look.
This looks promising.
This looks very
yes. What a shot.
good. And Murphy. Goodness gracious.
Great shot.
I wasn't convinced by that first scramble shot through that little gap there, Jeremy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I did not think that was a wise move.
No.
But he absolutely made that work on that second one.
Was it his plan the whole time just to get him into that position?
Yeah, maybe he
never know.
practiced from over there.
You never know. Oh, he wanted that one too.
That was a good half bit.
Yeah. Oh, trees say no. Yeah, that's great.
It was probably 15 degrees out there, and the wind was relatively low. It was just perfect weather out there, early October. Oof.
Oh, man.
Catches a piece of the band there, it sounded like.
Yeah.
It's always a bit of a risk, fall weather in the Maritimes. It's not uncommon to get storms that time of year, but if you don't, it is just perfect weather to be out there in the Maritimes. PEI is just a paradise of a place, like we were kind of mentioning in the last round. PEI in mid-September, late September, early October, it's... If you haven't been, it is the absolute perfect time to go. Look at the colors on these trees, and it's shoulder season. The tourists have all gone back to where they came from for the summer. So get out. There's so much disc golf. If you're a disc golfer and you haven't been to PEI, it should be probably number one on your list in Canada. Is that too hot a take?
No, I don't think so. I haven't been there. I'll take that as a hot take.
They have some of the best courses.
Yeah.
It's not a huge place.
Yeah.
The people are the most friendly and welcoming people you'll ever meet anywhere. They're like Canadians on steroids, but the steroids are like your whatever medicine your grandma takes to make her a sweet lady. Is that?
Sure. Well, and I was going to also mention that They also have these really nice, fast food that you have. What do they call them again? The Hot Pockets?
Donairs?
No. There's a company that's sponsoring the event.
Oh, right. Our third sponsor of the event. We mentioned Flickline. We mentioned Gill Construction, but we didn't mention the Hand Pie Company. But let's check out our scoreboard here, brought to you by Landry Auto Group. Dylan Goudey has taken the lead, 1 on Sam Streeter, who's even for the round. Ezra Lockington, 1 back of that. We've got a couple of people hunting from the chase card, Pierre, Anthony, and James, who we saw.
Yeah, Kyle Reed has put together a good round.
Yeah, Chris Richard still in it. Patrick Tool. So the Hand Pie Company, Jeremy.
Yeah.
As we fly over one of my favorite holes on this course, hole 4, par 3, 310 feet. Throw it over the gorge. Throw it short of the gorge. Just don't throw it in the gorge.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
listen, hand pies, Jeremy.
There's a gorge there?
There's a company called the Hand Pie Company in PEI. If you're taking the bridge in from New Brunswick, you almost drive past it, especially if you're heading out to any of these courses on the island here. They make hand pies. Do you know what a hand pie is?
I don't know what a hand pie is.
It's a pie that you can fit in your hand.
That sounds delicious.
They are the best things ever. Full stop. Not best pies.
Oh.
That was a pure ace run, and he somehow gets across.
Yeah.
Dylan's safe on the other side. That looked so good out of his hand.
That looked really good.
It looked almost as good as a hand pie, Jeremy. Listen, they have savory pies. They have sweet pies.
Oh boy.
They don't have sour pies, but Sam's probably feeling like a bit of a sour pie right now. We got to the island. We were filming some B-roll. We were taking some drone shots of some lighthouses, as you do when you're in PEI.
Sure.
And Andre and I had to stop at the Hand Pie Company. It was near the end of the day. We gave him a call. Hey, we're going to be there a few minutes before you close. We're here for the tournament. They are huge supporters of disc golf in the Maritimes, especially on PEI. If you were at Nationals, any of the 3 years that we had Nationals out there, you probably had a hand pie. And Andre and I went there, and it was near the end of the day, so they just had a few hand pies left in the display, and they said, "What do you want?" And we just said, "Just empty the display.
Yeah.
Just throw them all in bags."
That was a nice run.
So we stood outside. They have a disc golf basket on site at the Hand Pie Company, so you can practice your putting while you're eating a hand pie.
Nice.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Hand pie in one hand, disc in the other hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anytime I think about my time in PEI, I think about the disc golf courses first and then hand pie second. Not even kidding.
Oh, that was a beautifully framed up putt.
Yeah.
Hand pie.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry right now.
I'm very hungry. Do you want to go to PEI after this?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Do you think Uber will get a hand pie here?
I think they have planes by now.
Okay. Good but frustrating par for Ezra, I would say.
Yeah. This hole's showing a bit more teeth this round.
It's a no joke of a hole.
Yeah. Boy, Andre's beard really came in during the tournament. Just looking at him on the background.
Yeah. Here's one of the trees that we lost in the hurricane. This is in the gorge. Just unimaginable power it takes to knock over these trees. Here's another one on hole 5.
R.I.P. tree.
There's another par 5, 737 feet. Kind of I think maybe we mentioned in the front round, sort of a evil twin sibling hole to the first one, where you got a couple of different bends here. There's pretty defined landing zones. First one, if you can get it all the way out here on your drive, you're doing pretty well. Second landing zone, if you're feeling smart and responsible, You're going to come up around these trees, and you're going to hit this landing zone in the middle of your frame here, which will line you up nicely for up the pipe shot.
Yeah, this is the line that just keeps getting tighter, I think, as you go up it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a bailout zone on the left here, so you can, if you really want to put something way up over the trees, you can bail out left. You won't get hurt too bad. We're going to have Dylan in the box. 1 down for the day so far through 4 holes.
I'm actually quite interested in checking this leaderboard check-in after hole 6. I'm sure there's actually quite a bit of movement.
I think we're going to see some movement.
Lots of movement.
Dylan's not going to be thrilled with that one. It's going to make his second shot significantly more difficult, obviously.
Yeah.
But this one really is about the landing zones, as we kind of talked about in the drone walkthrough. And if you can hit all those landing zones, it's an easy birdie or par. And that's going to be fine for Ezra. He's still going to have a tricky shot from the left side of the fairway, but totally doable. But if you're not hitting those landing zones, it increases the difficulty of this hole fairly exponentially.
I'm curious why people are going on the left instead of the right. Because you could looks like you could throw a flip-up backhand to just have that ride. Correct me if I'm wrong, but unless everyone's going on a forced turnover.
No, we saw that from James in round 1. I think it's a play that I believe the left side's a little bit more open on the first part of the shot.
Yeah.
So,
and Sam ended up on the right now, so we'll see what's.
Yeah, bending something over to the right from the left gap is probably more comfortable for most of these guys. You can see kind of from this angle, you see it a little bit better, but it is relatively open once you get through that first gap. And Dylan's got to put a move on this one to get it to a good landing zone. And he's not quite going to make the corner, but yeah, he could probably reach out forehand. Great shot by Dylan there.
Oh, yeah. Sam going big again.
Yeah.
Trying to bite off a bit more. Oh, boy.
Just 20 feet to the left of where he really wanted to land, and he's in trouble.
Yep.
Vaughn turns this one over a bit too much.
That's a lucky tree kick.
We'll see where he's at for his third. Now Ezra off to the left, so he's going to have a bit more of a hyzer to get it around the corner.
Yeah, I can see the appeal for the left side now.
I think it's kind of the way the hole was meant to be played, but hey, the great thing about disc golf is there is no such thing as a way that a hole is meant to be played. It's you get to pick how that hole gets played.
Yep. Is this?
Looks like he's probably 70 feet short over in the trees there.
Okay. Looked like he was trying to put together like a sky-high roller.
Yeah, I think he was. It was just hoping it would flare out. Big Sky Annie. Oh no!
Oh boy!
He had it perfectly lined up.
Yeah.
Just gets a bit of the yanks there. Now leaning out for a forehand. This would be a pretty good start to the round if Dylan can get up and down here.
Oh, it didn't come over, but
bail out.
Okay.
Tricky putt. Circle's edge, 30 feet maybe.
Yeah.
Through a couple of trees, and Sam just has nothing. He has absolutely nothing. Smart layup out of there. Not forcing anything. Just get up and down.
How many times have yourself or someone on a card played a tight hole like this, and you have the choice of just making the smart play, getting back out onto the fairway, or you just decide to go for it, and it just gets worse and worse. I could I could count multiple times that's happened, mostly to me, where you think you can make this crazy hero shot out of the rough, and you just could either end up on the other side of the fairway, whoa, or the shot does not turn out like you want it in the worst way possible. So it's good. That was really good restraint from Sam to just pitch out and keep going.
For sure. Usually when I've made that decision, I'm already on tilt a little bit.
Yeah, fair.
You know, that's not usually what gets me unhinged. I'm already unhinged, and then suddenly I think I'm Superman and I can like put a disc in the, a mail slot basically.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Beautiful putt.
Yeah.
Great birdie.
That little tree could have caused some havoc, but no problem. Nice putt.
Great par.
Yeah.
He, after having that frustrating shot go into the trees early and then having his fairly routine upshot come out early on him, he could have easily been in his head for that par putt. But good to see from Sam. 4 down. Only 3 back of Dylan, who's having the best start of the group so far here. And he's going to take 1 on the entire card. I would say the nerves were a little bit more in effect this card.
Seems like a bit more of a not serious bunch, but they looked like they were focused a lot more.
Yeah, there is a difference between being on lead card and being on feature card.
Sure.
These guys all know that if they're on camera right now, it's because they are in the top 4 of this event going into round 2. So even if they're not thinking about being on camera, there's just the lead card nerves are in effect. There's a bit of a crowd watching. Mm-hmm. So see what happens. Hole 6, par 4, big dog leg over to the left, 440 feet as the crow flies. I'm not actually sure what the distance is as the Sam Streeter flies. We saw him go big forehand and just avoid this entire backhand, forehand, really nicely laid out par 4.
It was incredible.
That Ben designed for us. Jerk move by Sam. Somebody makes a nice disc golf course like this and you just say, no, screw it. I'm gonna throw my own hole on this one. Jerk move, Sam. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Love seeing the creativity. If you didn't see round 1,
it was
how'd you
wild.
end up here, first of all? But we'll see if Sam breaks out that forehand, because he did get himself into the Open with a long jump putt for an eagle last round.
If you can make a TD, add a Mando because of a
Between rounds?
weird line that you've thrown, you've done your job well.
This looks like the ideal. Yeah, that's great from Ezra. They're not putting a ton into this one on the drive, as you can see. That was, I think they were both throwing that new drop approach disc from Discmania. You just really need to get it to the right spot. Angle control, distance control. Missing the tree control, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Lacking here for Vaughn, but that's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, nice.
And we are going to see it again. Good luck, camera operator. See you later, disc. Sam's going to launch this thing into orbit, and then we're just going to have to pray
it comes back
Catch
to us.
Cam Sean's going to see it on the other side. And he did it again, Jeremy. He did it even better this time.
Jeez. Oh,
What a play.
That was amazing.
Like I said, we walk the course. Obviously, we have to drone the course every time we're filming a course. We walk the course. If we're lucky, we might even have time to play some of the course. Didn't occur to either of us that forehand would be a thing, and I'm looking for forehand lines. You know, I like me a weird forehand line.
You like your forehand lines, yeah. Go. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Did you guys get to play at all? Did you guys get a round in, or?
Listen, I don't want to talk about it, Jeremy. Technically, we did throw some discs on this course.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's another nice approach shot.
Tough course. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Tough course. Tougher than these guys are making it look.
Joe's is just a layup.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the tap-in birdie.
Yeah. Smart play.
He did all the work on the drive. As we see a fantastic putt by Vaughn Murphy.
So casual, hey?
Cool as a cucumber, Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's had birdies. He will have birdies again. And easy as you like, we are going to get our first star frame.
Amazing. Ring the chains, boys. Ring the
coverage.
chains.
We don't do that.
Oh. Well, I'm ringing them in my head.
Okay.
That was a cool way to play that hole from all 4 players.
Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, we get a clap. All right. Landry Auto Group. Here is that scoreboard check-in you were looking for, Jeremy. What are you seeing?
Let's see. It looks like, wow, Dylan Goudey's just pulling away from the field. Still, lots of golf to play. Still being trailed by Chris, Pierre, and James, and Sam. Oh, and Ezra. Boy, that's a tight second place. And you've got Anthony, who's fought his way back up. Good round. Vaughn hanging in there. We got Dylan McPherson and Kyle Reed rounding out that top 10.
Yeah, Chris Richard, I think with the hot round 5 down through,
That's incredible.
Through 8 holes. He's on 3rd card.
Yeah.
He's got himself into a tie for 2nd place. So we're going to keep track of that one.
Yep.
As we go way up the hill on hole 7, it's a par 4, 591 feet. Plays like more than that. I can't give you the exact number without breaking out the calculator and the compass, but...
Oh, I've got a calculator here, Matt, if you want to work through the numbers.
All right. We'll do that off camera.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Getting to the crest of the hill, just getting to the top of the hill, it's going to put you in a good place. Obviously, the further you can get past the crest of the hill, the easier this upshot is going to get. There are lines up the middle, up the left, up the right. It's kind of dealer's choice. It's a little bit luck, unless you've gone out there and practiced and found yourself a landing zone, but really just getting the right height on the disc, getting it all the way up the hill, and great hustle by Allanah and Andre. I'm telling you what, if you ever want to work catch cam at a disc golf event.
Oh, I'm sure.
They do more running than anybody. And Allanah was out there helping us out with some audio stuff, keeping notes.
So awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean and Allanah, for coming out. They were mixing in a vacation on the East Coast anyway, so
did they plan it accordingly, or was it just I
think it just worked out nicely that we needed some help out there. That is an absolute
so far
rush by Ezra.
So far,
that was maybe better than any of the drives we saw in round 1.
Yeah,
way up there. I think they just kind of made it work around the tournament, which was awesome.
That's cool.
Super happy that they came out and did the last tournament. Sean was the first, after I joined and Park Pro, as you know, now was formed. Sean, we met him, we filmed him in a tournament.
Yes.
And he was asking us about filming and stuff. And he said, hey, I'd be happy to do some filming if you guys ever need some help. And we thought, well, this guy, we filmed him in MPO. Play MPO, but he was up to do some filming, and he filmed probably more events than the rest of our catch cam people. Obviously, Vicky was our other main catch cam operator, and they were just rocks for us. We'll have a big thank you at some point after this tournament goes out to all of the catch cam operators and all the help that we had. But Sean and Allanah were out at a ton of events for us. Vicky Young out at a ton of events for us, and wow.
Oh, silky smooth.
And that's why we have pictures of discs floating into the basket like that from Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
And short approach here from Ezra.
Little skipper.
Put it in. Put it into the basket next time, Ezra. Come on. We want eagles on Park Pro.
Boy.
What a play. And Sam's shot was further.
Holy
The
smokes.
forehand up the left. we kind of got distracted there, but
Yeah.
Sam's forehand drive was. I don't even know how the guy does it.
I don't know. Get it. Oh.
So maybe some nerves, like we mentioned in the first few holes, but I think our lead card is starting to heat up now.
Yeah. Pounding some pace.
Big walk from hole 6 over to hole 7, so guys had a chance to relax, maybe take a deep breath. Remember that they're the 4 best disc golfers in the province of Prince Edward Island right at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Get down to business.
Those are 2 really good birdies to get.
Phenomenal birdies.
And a fantastic par. 3 fantastic birdies.
Thumbs up.
Give him the thumbs up.
Love
Love it.
Yeah, I'd be giving thumbs up too after this.
Oh, yeah.
Great hyzer angle. Minimizes the skip.
Oh,
In theory, still gets a skip, but skips it right to the basket.
yeah. Okay, hole 8. You got that little dangler of a tree limb just looking at you as you're going off for 325 feet. Most people miss it.
What are we calling that one today?
I can't remember the leaner, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, just looks like it's straight up, but you got some trees to dodge. Pick your lane, and that's about it.
Just throw the disc at the basket.
This one's uphill too, correct?
This one plays a little bit uphill.
Yeah. Okay.
Dylan Goudey sitting on 3 straight birdies, 4 down through 7 holes. This is the kind of pace that they were all hoping to be on out here.
Oh yeah.
Playing the right edge of the fairway.
This looks great.
Easy settle, and that's
Yeah.
going to probably be 5 down through 8 for Dylan Goudey, Jeremy.
Wow. I know we can't affect time and space, but I'll just keep my mouth shut for the rest of the round around that score.
That one doesn't get punished. He gets
No.
a good kick, good ground play. He's had some bad luck, but that's going to put him in the birdie zone. Oh, I'm not allowed to say birdie zone. Copywritten. In the birdie area. Okay, good result for Sam there too. Course is starting to give him back a little bit here for the guys.
Yeah.
Starting to reward some good play here with some good luck.
Fun. What do you got? Oh boy.
Gonna get around the outside. Does so.
Oh, nice. Okay.
34 feet.
Edge of circle.
We got a rose shirt exciting there on the right. Leading the FPO at this point
Oh,
in the
no way.
tournament. One of the mass people. We don't call them mass holes, remember, Jeremy?
Right. Yes.
Oh. Edge of the chains for Vaughn. Stays out. Wanted that one out of his hand. I wanted that one out of his hand.
Oh yeah.
Right. Just inside the circle for Sam.
Oh.
Doinks it off the band. Why basket? I did the thing, he says.
Why'd you have to be a jerk that way?
Couple of resets there for Ezra.
Yeah.
Well played.
Good choice.
Knocks it in. Basket tried to spit it out there a little bit, but didn't do it. Over to Dylan to match.
Yep.
I like Dylan's repeatable putting routine. I always appreciate somebody that has the same putting routine for 15 footers, 30 footers, 45 footers, same thing. I appreciate it as a disc golfer. I also appreciate it as an editor, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
No surprises.
I always, every time we watch and commentate disc golf, Jeremy, I think to myself, I got to get me one of those repeatable putting routines.
Sure.
That I still haven't. But
You've come close.
I don't know.
I'll give it to you. So smooth.
Making it look easy.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Hole 9. Par 4, 426 feet tight. As the drone is flying is one of the preferred lines on your drive. If you do get it up this line, you're probably cutting off the most distance on the drive. If you want to take it out wider to the right, you're making the hole longer, but you are taking some risk out of the initial shot. So risk reward, love to see it in disc golf design. 426 feet is on the shorter side, but it really makes up for it with the technicality on this one.
sure. Yeah, lots of ways for you to realize that you might not be getting a 4 on this hole.
No question about it.
Early tree hits or anything. Dylan's looking like he's Oh yeah, and you can see that the trees on the right hand side really do take away the big hyzer play.
Yeah, there's some lines, but they're not like gimme lines for sure over to the right.
Yeah, it's almost like it does corral you into that middle line.
Mm-hmm. All right, 3 straight birdies for Ezra here. He's starting to heat up.
Oh, that looks cooked. Just beat those group of trees and
Jeremy.
Oh man.
Jeremy.
What?
Jeremy.
What?
He is inside the circle for eagle. What
What?
a drive by Ezra Lockington. Perfect power, perfect line. Couldn't be better. And Sam is going to break the hole again with his forehand. He's going to get over everything and get himself on the fairway. It's not circle 1,
No.
but it is also a very good shot.
Very amazing.
Okay, and we're going to see around the right-hand side here from Vaughn with the forehand. Look at all that airspace out there.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, that disc is going to get out of its flight and end up going back off to the right. But I don't think he's going to be too mad about that. Giant bug.
Yeah. I didn't realize BEI had giant bugs.
Yeah. It's a real danger out there. It's not quite going to get there for an easy birdie for Vaughn, but he avoided all the trouble. That is a risk-free hole by Vaughn Murphy. And
Yep.
Dylan's running that one. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Just saw Ezra put it inside the circle for eagle, so you might as well
Give it a shot.
get an eagle of your own.
Yep.
Sam's thinking the same thing, obviously, here. This is a run for an eagle.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. We got 2 pretty easy birdies. We got a challenging birdie putt here for Vaughn. Oh, give the man the putt.
Boy.
Come on, course.
He's been deadly.
He's all over it.
All round.
And now Ezra's going to try and lock in here. No pun intended for an eagle.
Wow.
29 feet and in
Amazing.
for the eagle. 5 down in the last 4 holes. He is at 9 down, temporarily within 1 of Dylan, and the Ezra Lockington show has begun.
I'm glad you captured that as he was walking away.
Not to be outdone, 5 straight birdies for Dylan.
Wow. You could tell when Ezra was walking away, he was going,
Sure.
something like that.
That was Jeremy Gauthier.
Ezra, I don't know if that's exactly how you're feeling, but I know if I was in your shoes, that's how I'd be feeling.
Yeah, if I could play a hole like that, I'd be making all kinds of funny noises.
Oh, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, let's watch this again. Let's just show it 7 or 8 times, maybe. Disc was absolutely flying.
Wow.
He used that disc out there a ton, and you can see why. Get up, disc.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Great putt, says Vaughn in the background.
Ooh.
Deuce.
Love it.
And if you didn't know, now you know.
Well, this is shaping up to be really exciting.
Yeah, we had Dylan separating himself from the crowd there, but Ezra said, I want in.
Yeah.
Dylan said, hop on in. So we've got Dylan at 11 down, Ezra 2 back at 9 down. We got a chunk of players at 7 down. Anthony and James from the chase card. Sam joining them. Chris Richard and Pierre Landry at 6. And we've got Vaughn falling off the pace a little bit. He's playing well, but the scores aren't really catching up. Devin and Dylan rounding out our top 10. I think we might be in for one of those rounds, Jeremy, with Dylan and Ezra playing off each other like this.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
And some of the other hot rounds coming up as well, too. This will be a very exciting end of the round.
Yeah, 5 down through 10 for Anthony. We're going to see some disc golf out here. Thanks again, Allanah, for your hard work out there. Great hustle, Andre. Thanks, Sean, for your amazing catch cam work.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Catch on the back 9.